Welcome back, everybody. I have a very good reason for doing this video. Back when we were in Senegal, my Tevas that I had had with me through 4+ years of travel failed, and I was repairing them. And I noticed that a lot of people right now are looking at my video of how to repair Tevas. The thing is, I have an awesome update. So I am going to update you with what worked for repairing the Tevas, what didn't, and how I resolved the situation, and with a review on my new Tevas. Okay, so the quick update for the Teva Saga for those of you that don't know about it. My Tevas fell apart on me in Senegal, and I got some epoxy, 2-part epoxy, and I glued them back together. But then another part broke. And basically, the strap that went through the sole the leather had eroded. I had the leather version at that time. And I do think that our visit to the Pink Lake, which is extra salty, accelerated their demise. There was no way for me to clean that part out, and I think it made it die a little faster than it would have, although 4 years of world travel is pretty good for any pair of sandals. Okay, so I tried and I got the best I could in Dakar, Senegal, when we went back through there, and they weren't very good. I ended up with, after just like a 5K, which is about a 3-mile walk, I ended up with like a bruised heel that bothered me, honestly, for months. And then we got here to Ghana, and I said, oh, hey, those look a little like Tevas. And I knew they weren't the quality of Tevas, but they were comfortable. And the thing is, at 3 months, they started to come apart. So once again, I broke out the epoxy, and I fixed them, and it worked. But the problem with that was at about 5 months old, they started hurting my legs. Like if I walked more than a kilometer in them, I was going to have leg cramps at night. So I really needed to get some good sandals. Lo and behold, my birthday came along, and I asked my mother. I actually asked my mom if she would send me some Tevas. And after a bit of hassle and some great expense and much appreciation, she did. And so that's what I'm going to share with you today is the Terra Fi 5 Universal Sandals from Teva. These are the updated version of the ones I had when we started our world travels in 2017. Okay, so let's take a look at the construction on these things. These are the Terra Fi 5 Universal Sandals from Teva. Okay, the thing that saved me, and from all the foot and leg pain, because it all like disappeared my first day wearing these. It was suddenly amazing because my legs that had been suffering for so long were just happy. Okay, a lot has to do with this sole. You can see how thick it is, okay? That has a lot to do with it, but just a thick sole isn't enough. You could have thick platform shoes and it's not going to give you the support, and that makes them ultra comfortable. But the thickness does have a lot to do with it. And I know I'm a heavy person, and I know I put a lot of wear and tear on shoes, and the thickness of the sole really helps if you're a big person in any way, whether you're tall and you know, big or just big, doesn't matter. The extra cushioning helps, and it would help pretty much anyone. Okay, so, but if you notice, this has curve to it. It has the shape of your foot, okay? It accentuates the shape of your foot, and it doesn't over-exaggerate it. You don't have a really high arch, or you don't have exaggerated features on this sole. It's just enough to give you some extra support, okay? And another feature that makes these really comfortable is the straps. You might think the nylon straps, like I got the leather ones because they were nice and soft and cushy the first time around. Knowing what I know now about boarding boats all over the world, most of the time you don't have a dock. In Thailand, you hop into the longtail boats, you're wading out into the ocean. You know, you go for a canoe ride to a stilt village, you're going to get wet. The Pink Lake is another example. Going to see mangroves in the Gambia. All of those little boat trips, you're always going to get wet. So if you're going to do that sort of thing, I don't recommend the leather ones as much. They're not really designed for a lot of water stuff. But that's why I got the nylon ones this time. But what's really nice is these have like comfort straps. See, there's this cushion underneath the strap, so the nylon is never digging into your skin. There's always a cushion, and to be honest, you never notice these things once they're on your feet, and that's the wonderful part. But these cushions right underneath the strap, let me undo it for you. See how that's extra wide there? It's wider than the Velcro. You're never going to have anything digging in. Okay, and then the other part that I just undid a little bit is that you have a nice amount of adjustment points. You can adjust the heel, you can adjust the across the toe, and of course you can adjust the across the ankle. That's your standard adjustment. Once you adjust the across the toe and the heel, you pretty much never have to set those again. Okay, and I mention that because I actually buy the men's style, and it was sort of accidental. The first time when I got the leather ones, we were making our big trip and our big exit, and we were sort of running out of time, and it was all they had in stock that in my size. I have a long foot. My foot is not particularly wide, surprisingly, so I didn't really need the extra width, but there was a time or two when that little extra width on it sort of saved my foot from getting munched by something. So I don't mind having a little extra width on my shoe, and that is why I get the men's size, but it also means I have to tighten down the heel and the top just a little bit extra. But the adjustment on these is really easy, and as I say, that cushion just makes all the difference in the world. So that's where it is comfortable, ultra comfortable for your foot. I'm going to bring up two other features that they talk about on the Teva website. Is one, if it matters to you, these are vegan. They have a leather version and a suede version that are not, but they are responsibly sourced. But if you're concerned about it, these are vegan. And also, one of the things they use on the bottom, now I washed this one for you, so it would look pretty nice on camera, but I didn't get all the dirt off. I'm going to show you the dirty one, actually. I want to show you the dirty one, because I wear these every day. I wore these out this morning already. So look at that tread. That tread gives you some traction, and they use what they call spider rubber. Now, I know that's marketing to some degree, but I have to admit, I have never felt like these soles were slippery in any way, and that goes for my original pair and this pair. These soles give you good traction. They give you good sturdiness, good support, and good traction. So these sandals are great for hiking. I mean, I trek, if you want to call it urban trekking, I trek all around the city, and I trek through local markets. I trek down dirt roads and that sort of thing. Now, the only thing I didn't use them on was the walking safari I did at Mole National Park a few weeks ago. And that's because they required closed-toed shoes for that. If they didn't require closed-toed shoes, these sandals would be perfect, and they would absolutely handle the terrain. By the way, this is not a sponsored video. I am truly this enthusiastic about these sandals. I do not have a negative for you, except for maybe one. Oh, there is maybe one negative. They're chunky, they're hefty. They're not super heavy by weight. But if you are a lighter person, a more petite person, on the Teva website, they have a light version, and the sole is about between half and 2/3 of the thickness of this sole, okay? So if you don't need the extra heft, you don't have to get it. But these aren't toss them in your luggage, flip-floppy kind of things. They are a substantial shoe. For as much as this is not a sponsored video, I am going to leave a couple of affiliate links in the description, and that does benefit me some, and it doesn't cost you any extra, so if you'd use those, that would be wonderful. And let me tell you about the reason I'm giving you two different links. I like to recommend REI for buying shoes especially of an adventurous nature. And there's a reason for that. One, if you buy anything from REI, you should become a member. I think it's $20. I'm not sure the membership cost now. Will last you over the lifetime. I mean, that's your lifetime membership. And it will save you money because you get dividends back. Plus, their return policy is insanely good. Most items have a 1-year return policy. Okay, most items, not everything, but most of it. And if you've worn the shoes and you've worn them outside and they've gotten a little wear, let's say you wear them for a few weeks and they're just not for you. Something isn't working, they're just not for you. You can still return them. Okay, and no places do that with shoes. None. Okay, so this is why I like to recommend REI. But as of today, which is like in July 2023, I went and I looked, and they were running out of these. They only had a few sizes left, and they only had a couple of styles. They had, like, I think, one men's, one women's. And so I don't know if they're phasing them out because the next version is coming out, or if they're just having a little supply problem right now. But because they didn't have a huge amount of selection, I also want to recommend you straight to the Teva website, teva.com. And as I say, the link will be in the description. And they do have more styles available. They have the leather ones there, they have some suede ones, they have some light ones, and they have more color styles. And the really cool thing is, you know, I know these aren't cheap sandals, but as I say, my last pair lasted me 4 years of world travel and lots of abuse. I'd say they were worth what I paid for them. But on the Teva website, they have one style right now in the men's size that it looks perfectly nice, but it's marked down. They're maybe discontinuing the color or something like that, but it's marked down significantly. So if you get them soon, you might be able to get a really good deal on them. So you can check out both links. REI with its awesome return policy and Teva with its broader selection. Either one is great. These shoes are awesome. I highly recommend the Terra Fi 5 Universals. If they come out with a Terra Fi 6, go for that too. These are consistently good, sturdy hiking shoes, and I will keep you posted. If these break on me in the future, I will tell you. If these last me 10 years, you'll hear me telling you about them 10 years from now. Don't forget to check out the links in the description, and I will see you next time.